everyone, this is Sherry. Welcome back. I have a layout today for the Cut Shop, and today I'm using one of our new cut files called Let's Make Music. When I saw Ashley put this out, I was like, I knew immediately I was going to be using this because it's perfect for some photos that I have of my grandson. And so I'm going to be using it for this layout. And I've done some of the work ahead of time. I did go ahead and cut out my background because it took a little bit of time. I wanted to make that guitar like be the main focal point of the layout. So I cut that out, and then I had to adhere all of those little strings. And so I was trying to be very careful so that I didn't tear them. So I didn't want to do that on camera because it did take a little while. But I was very happy with the results. I backed it with some red printed pattern paper. And so I'm using the blue paper there is from Pink Paisley, and it's the Atlas collection, and it's called Latitude. And so I wanted to go ahead and go with something dark, so I went with that dark blue. And then I wanted to kind of give it a little bit of sparkle, so I did go ahead and splatter some of my white Mr. Huey's Mist just to give a little bit of interest on the background. And so I'm using a few of the cut files from the Let's Make Music collection. I'm using for my title, which is called JamSession, of course the guitar, which is my main focal point, and then I also used some of the stars in that collection. There's that row of stars you see there, and I'm going to be going and putting that on the layout. And really, I didn't want to do a whole lot of embellishing because I really wanted the guitar to be the main focus. So I'm just starting with layering up my background and putting some layers behind the photo. I have that photo of my grandson, and yeah, he's just hamming it up. He's was rehearsing with the band, and he's loves guitars, he loves music, and so when they rehearse, he gets his toy guitar and he's up there with them just playing, and he's watched them so much now because he's been there since he was born, and he's watched them so much now that he's learning to make faces and so kind of move his feet, and so he's kind of funny. So anyway, when I saw this cut file, I was just like, oh my goodness, Ashley, this was like perfect. I felt like she made it just for me, and so I was so excited to use it. So what I'm doing now, though, I'm going through, you can see some random pieces of tags. I have pieces, I keep tags from clothing and packaging tags, and you can see some there that I used that I was pulling out of the box. And so when my husband or my son-in-law, anybody gets like cool clothing with cool tags, I save them because they're bits of ephemera that you can actually use on a layout. And some of the tags are really cool. They're really heavy. They have cool designs on them. So that's what I was doing there, is going through my little box to see what I could find out. I did end up finding that Peace, Love, and Rock tag, and so I'm going to use that on the layout. I've attached putting a little bag behind the background, or excuse me, behind the photo, so I can kind of tuck that tag in. And I wanted to go ahead and raise up the title a little bit. I didn't want it flush to the background, so I'm going to go ahead and cut some of that out for you so that you didn't have to watch all that while I did the background, the pop dots, excuse me. I was trying to, gosh, slowed my mind. The pop adhesive behind that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just kind of layering my papers that I want behind my photo and just kind of tacking those together with my stapler, and just kind of getting some layering going there. And I was having problems with my little stapler there. I seem to always have problems with that thing, and I love it, but it always jams on me. So anyway, I was just kind of figuring out how I wanted that and just stapling it together and going ahead and tacking down my layers. And I like the bits of vellum behind it. I just think I like being able to see through the dark background and kind of just add some transparency there. And then layering that bag. And that was from, the tag was from a piece of clothing that we got from my grandson, some time ago. It was some clothing that he had. So, and there again, I'm using that dimensional adhesive, and I'm going to go ahead and just pop up the photo a little bit and kind of give it a little bit more dimension to pop off that background. So And this came together rather quick. Like I said, I didn't want to do a whole lot of embellishments because I felt like the guitar and the mist and all of that really just had a lot going on its own. So I just kind of didn't really add a whole lot to it after that. Mainly the photo and the cut files. And now I'm just trying to make sure everything's lined up because, man, lately I've been notorious for putting things on crooked, and then once I adhere it, it's too late, and I can't fix it. So I'm trying to use my T-square ruler a little bit more to make sure that I'm getting things on a little bit more straight. So, and I was using that tag, and then I was like, oh man, I didn't see the A on the back, and I would rather have used that because his name's Audio, and I thought that would have been perfect, but I didn't look before I put glue down. So then I was trying to think, man, can I get the glue off? Is there any way that I can go ahead and use that? And I tried to rub it off without tearing it, and it just wasn't working. I tried to erase it, and yeah, I didn't pay attention. I just put glue on it before I really looked at it, but I thought, man, that would have been perfect because that's his initial. But it ended up that I couldn't make it work. It just looked too messy. You could tell I was trying to get the glue off. So I just decided to go ahead and go with it and put it back to the other side like I had it. So that's what I went with. I covered up the brand name and just had the Peace, Love, and Rock sticking out. And then I liked the frame over the top of it. I thought it kind of gave it a little bit of pop, really pulled the picture, or pulled him out of the picture a little bit more. And so I liked the pop of yellow against that blue too. So. And so I did use my June hip kit on this layout. That's where I was pulling some items from. And so the frames that were in the hip kit, and that was from Crepe Paper Poolside collection, and the paper, pink paisley paper, was also from the collection. And then I was pulling these out because I just have some extra. This was not in the kit. I had some extra embellishments, for my stash that I thought I would pull out and just add a few more things to the layout. And so that's what I'm doing here. So I'm just, I think I'm still looking for a few more embellishments to add to the layout. Like I said, I didn't want a whole lot, but I did want a few little touches. So I found that little clip from Studio Calico, and so I ended up going ahead and just tacking that to the little bag and the tag. And then I added the hearts, the gold hearts, and that arrow. It's acrylic arrow, like I said, it's from Freckled Fawn. And then I'm going to layer some hearts, big heart on top of it, and then the smaller heart around it, just to add a little bit more to the layout. That big heart is from the Heidi Swap Project Life, her Project Life collection that has all of the gold elements. And the smaller heart, I believe, was Studio Calico. And then I did find a gold heart, the same gold foil heart. That's from Studio Calico as well. And so I just added that there to the bottom of the frame, just to kind of add another gold element on there in a touch. So, and I think it's going to wrap it up. I'm going to go ahead and do some a bit of journaling on the layout using one of my white gel pens. And I'm using my StazOn. I'm going to go ahead and stamp the date on it. And I'm using StazOn because I'm going to do it on that frame. And it's got kind of a glossy finish. And so I knew one of the other inks would smear on it. So I'm going to go ahead and use my StazOn. But my StazOn is just about dried out. So, but I'm going to go ahead and just stamp the date right on that photo frame there. And then I'm going to find one of my white gel pens, and I'm going to do a little bit of journaling at the bottom of the layout in the white. Typically don't use a lot of the white gel pens. I know a lot of people rave about them, but I seem to always have a problem with them. So, but I'm going to go ahead and do just a little bit of journaling there at the bottom. And I think it came out okay. It looks okay on that. Probably what I should have done was skip this white misting at the bottom, but I didn't think ahead on that. So it kind of interferes with the journaling, but it's not bad. You can still read it. So I think I'm okay with it. It's one of those imperfections that I'm okay with. And so I'm just doing, going to wrap up a little bit of journaling, and that's going to pretty much wrap it up for the layout, and got some close-up shots that I am going to share with you. Again, I just want to thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it, and appreciate your comments, and look forward to having you join me again soon. And I hope you have a great day, and thanks again. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.